Here's a little song I wrote called Infinity, Uphill Both Ways. Marketing agency Clickout Media were exiled from the internet for the crime of buying up video game media outlets like esports.net, Esport News UK, Video Gamer, and The Escapist, then flooding them with AI gambling and crypto content. Google said, "We'll have none of that," then banished Video Gamer to the Shadow Realm. You can still look the site up directly, but you won't see them suggested in relevant searches. This is another deserved mark against AI, but there's a bigger idea here as well. Unfortunately, we finally have the technology to enable a kind of person I've taken to calling the negative infinity guy. Infinity is surprisingly sneaky for how big it is. We are finite creatures who know we won't always be around, but don't expect to be gone anytime soon. We take life in small chunks, finite piece by finite piece, in increments of days, weeks, months, and years, with an unspoken yet most certain ending somewhere behind the horizon, where it won't trigger an existential crisis. And this mentality gets carried like a bagged lunch into the business world, where you are not allowed to mention the end, only the next. That's why business graphs don't end. They have a speculation arrow that goes, shoots off to the right into space. No one's actually saying they're going to grow forever. You'd be a fool to suggest this. But in essence, that is what's on the chart. If you expect to grow by 6% every quarter, that is infinity in 6% increments. And it works until it doesn't. There are upper limits to most businesses. You can only grow so much, make so much product, have so many customers, and get so much money out of them. Investors only have so much money to loan. Advertisers only have so much money to pay. You may not be planning to grow forever or die anytime soon, but you'll find the ceiling well before infinity. The negative infinity guy follows this same process, but the logic goes in the other direction. When I worked at The Escapist, we were assigned this one content director fella who was real frugal. Wouldn't throw away a grenade. His purpose in life was to stock the YouTube channel to the brim with cheap, low-effort videos. This was 5-ish months after the initial release of ChatGPT in 2022. It was a glorified wiki scraper at the time, and the content director was an older gentleman, possibly a generation or two before mine, who still believed in the ways of paying someone in a third-world country to write a script for pennies, edit some background footage, and narrate it with text-to-speech. I still have one of the test scripts for a history of Counter-Strike video, because what ended up happening instead was I, a first worlder, was obligated to record the narration, to give it a human touch, and then I wasn't paid. AI is theft. Theft is also theft. Back in my day, probably your day too, your human boss would make you do a thing and then tell you to your face in an email, "You cannot charge your usual freelancer fees for this," or just fire you and kick you out of your work email. Then they'd find a cheaper writer to underpay or rob, and the quality of the articles would go down. So they lose traffic, but not all of it, because anything can get 10 stray views on the internet. That is negative infinity. A race to the bottom towards a hypothetical pocket of thoughtless consumerism that will eat up anything you throw at it. So quality doesn't matter. And if you can scale your operation enough, you can make money because you will have almost no cost. Before the AI boom, you would absolutely get fired for talking like this. Our negative infinity guy did. But now we have the technology. You'll find the floor well before you find infinity. In this instance, the floor was made of Google. The negative infinity guy always makes the mistake of assuming since their work takes no real effort and has no real value, that it has no real cost. A mistake that's easier to make online. What we assume is the virtual infinity. But the internet comes in a box, and someone's got to pay to run it. Google de-indexing video gamers is essentially a mafia hit. The Don will kill you, and it'll be like you never even existed. Before the low-effort gambling videos, there were the crass animation and cheap costume pop culture videos cashing in on unattended children. Before that, they were cracking down on videos with fraudulent titles and thumbnails. The negative infinity guy is a staple of society. It's never been easier or more profitable to be one. I say more profitable relative to itself. I'm not sure how much money one makes from getting kicked off of Google. Why am I bringing this up to you? I doubt you're one of the 10,000 reading hundreds of AI slop articles a day, let alone writing them, let alone paying for them. But maybe you're being stalked by infinity too. What are you putting too much time into because you tell yourself you'll have another day to quit? What are you putting off because you tell yourself you'll have another day to get started? Here stands a finite creature, frozen in place, staring at infinity, uphill both ways.